Hey, it's Arlesha. I'm a purpose-driven mover and shaker who embarked on a sabbatical for the first time in my career. Welcome to my first podcast. This season, I'm talking about what it means to be on sabbatical, to recharge your life, career, and purpose. Throughout each episode, I'll share gems and insights experienced from my first sabbatical journey in the hopes it'll inspire you to harmonize your life and ambitions. Let's get into it. My sabbatical was 12 years in the making. Yep, I've been in the sports and entertainment industry for over 14 years now. For those who may not know, here's a quick rundown of my resume. Recently, I worked for four-time NBA champion Stephen Curry at his company, SC30 Inc., as Senior Director of Strategic Partnerships and Development. Before that, I spent nearly 10 years at CAA Sports, one of the world's most valuable sports agencies. It was at CAA Sports that I established my foundation and grew as a professional while managing and working with some of the world's top brands and prolific athletes such as NBA Hall of Famer Dwayne Wade, Miami Heat legend Udonis Haslem, the reigning Defensive Player of the Year Jaren Jackson Jr., Kobe White of the Chicago Bulls, etc., and etc. My resume entails much more before my time at CAA. Your girl was moving and shaking, hustling and grinding ever since LeBron James took his talents to South Beach in the summer of 2010, all while doing it with much grace and balance, at least in my opinion. I've always been a woman who prioritized harmony in life. I never hesitated to step away from the office to go on vacation and enlighten my world through different perspectives and cultures. But a sabbatical? A pause from work for longer than a 7-day span? That's unheard of. If you're unfamiliar with the world of sports and what it means to manage professional athletes, here's a quick snapshot. Working with athletes is an all-encompassing and a fully immersed experience. Their schedule, especially during their off-season, is your schedule. On the agency side, where I sat for nearly 10 years, you're talking joining recruiting meetings every other day in a given week. Oftentimes, finding out a day or two before that you'll need to pack a quick backpack to recruit. I never complained. I was here for the flight miles and airline status. The summer off-season never really belonged to me. Let's just say to this day, I've never been able to make it out to Essence Music Festival. That is still on the bucket list. The summer belonged to a blitz of press runs and appearances, global trips to Asia for marketing and promotional tours, multiple award ceremonies, the jam-packing of brand commercial shoots to optimize a player's schedule, and time off in the summer. For those reasons alone, the idea of being in sport and embarking on a multi-month sabbatical is both sensational and radical. Lucky for me, I like sensational. I came to the point of my career in identifying much needed time for rest, rejuvenation, and some good old me time. Not to mention, I had just come off a whirlwind year and a half living a bi-coastal work remote life, taking me between Miami, Florida, and San Francisco every few weeks. Those constant red-eye flights when you hit your mid-30s, those are no joke. Rest and rejuvenation was an insatiable craving, and I became committed to satisfying it. When it came to multi-month breaks away from the industry, I didn't have many examples to lean on. In agency life, folks barely took vacation, except for the 14 days that we were gifted every holiday season in December when Hollywood shut down as a whole. But I did have a guide and example thanks to this book I once read called Eat, Pray, Love. Oh yeah. You know about Eat, Pray, Love, right? In 2012, just 2 years from starting my internship working for Dwayne Wade and celebrating Miami Heat's second championship run, I read the book about a 40-something-year-old woman named Elizabeth Gilbert who journeyed across Italy, India, and Indonesia in search of rediscovery and life's new meaning after her divorce. And I know. Some people have some negative thoughts about how self-centered they think Elizabeth may have been, but there was something enchanting about her experience in putting a pause to her life as it stood to bring forth a new experience. I was here for that. And I knew one day, although I was just 23 at the time, I think, I'd have the same experience for myself. Not as dramatic as Elizabeth, but I mean the stepping away from the world and career I came to know to intentionally experience and redefine my days and life to come. So in October 2023, I embarked on my own version of Eat, Pray, Love, and I am so glad I did it, y'all. Sabbatical has enlightened and brightened my days, which in turn will brighten my paths ahead. Why did I decide to finally take a sabbatical, you ask? Well, great question. It all happened organically, and frankly, it was the perfect time to take one. I gave you a glimpse of what my day to day and my career looked like a few minutes ago. In my personal world, although I made use of my PTO benefits often and traveled leisurely whenever I had the opportunity to do so in between the sports calendar, I never truly had the capacity for anything else. In the past, people often asked me about dating and romantic relationships. I would chuckle. Creative projects often went on hold. Friends and family that I had been disconnected from, I didn't have the capacity to create the space and time to build genuine reconnections. Instead of rushing into the next opportunity, I chose the timing of my sabbatical to be one that will serve in setting the time, focus, and intention for my next. Not to mention rest, relaxation, and rejuvenation. In the coming episodes, I'll be sharing some of the most impactful gems and insights experienced within my milestone moments, as well as tips on how you can incorporate the intentionality into your own world, whether or not you plan to take a lengthy break from your career and ambitions. If you like today's episode, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on new episodes from this season and future installments of Hey, It's Arlesha. For more in-depth insights and gems, you can subscribe to my blog counterpart of this podcast. The link can be found in the description below. Until next time, I am sincerely yours, Arlesha.